Hey guys, this is Mohit for Thenika and I'm back with a fresh Fusion tutorial. This time I'll guide you through a work that I did recently, with permission of course. Let's have a look at it. So the task was to create a logo from scratch and then do a logo animation with it. One of the specific description given was that the logo should somehow incorporate a DNA strand in terms of design and in animation. For those users who are new to Fusion, I'll recommend you to check out my Fusion Basics video series. You can click on this link to go to that playlist. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial itself. First of all, I'll add a background node. Drag it to the viewer. Change the color to white. Make it square pixel, go to image 1920 by 1920. Now to this background node I'll add a rectangle mask. Now this rectangle mask I'll increase the width and the height, put y value to 0. Right now if you see we have a white rectangle strip. We'll use this rectangle strip to make our main circle. To do that I'll add a coordinate space node, shift space bar, coordinate space. Go to the settings, click on polar to rectangle. Now we have our circle. Now I'll add another background node, connect the coordinate space to the background, drag it to the viewer. Let's change the color. Now instead of applying one single solid color, I'll add a vertical ramp. In the top I'll select cyan. In the bottom we'll go for some blue. Something like that. We also need the circle to animate. So I'll copy this rectangle, Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste. Hold shift and drag it to this connection. I'll set the global end time to 150. Go to frame number 22. Right click on the center value, animate. Zoom out in the viewer. Go to frame number 70 and then drag this rectangle in x-axis to this side. A key is automatically added at 70. Right now if we scroll along between the two keyframes, nothing is happening. So I'll select this rectangle, go to the paint mode and select subtract. Now if we scroll along, we can see the animation. Great, so let's select all these nodes, go to tools, flow, underlay. Control click and drag to deselect all the inside nodes. Press F2 to rename. We'll call it large circle. Then right click, set color, set tile color, we'll give it some blue. We'll also give a darker color for the text, set color, set text color, black. For the time being, I'm going to keep these nodes aside. I'll add a background node. Select the vertical ramp, top color to green. And the bottom I'll put it to cyan, drag it to the viewer. We'll make the resolution square 1920 by 1920. Fit. To this I'll add a polygon mask. I'll give it a shape like this. Adjust the shape slightly. Select these nodes, Shift S to smooth. Now to this background node, I'll add a coordinate space node, shift space bar, coordinate space. Drag it to the viewer. Polar to rectangular. To this, I'll add a soft glow, shift space bar, soft glow. Drag it to the viewer. This is what we get. Move it over here. Now let's add a fast noise, shift space bar, fast noise. Drag it to the viewer. Let's increase the detail. Brightness, contrast, open this, scale, something like that, reduce the Y, angle, put the seed rate to 0.1, add a channel boolean, connect this to the foreground and this to the background, drag it to the viewer. Set the operation to AND. Add a brightness contrast node. Drag it to the viewer. Increase the saturation. Take the low value up. something like that. Bring the high value down. Now I'll add a bitmap. Connect this brightness to the bitmap. Add a soft glow. Connect this to the glow mask of the soft glow and this one to the background. Drag it to the viewer. Select the soft glow. Increase the gain to 20. Open this one to 30 and this one to 20. Go down to the color scale. Reduce the red value all the way down. Increase the green. I'll select the fast noise and tweak it a little. Click on discontinuous and inverted. Reduce the scale value. Yeah, around there. Click on this. That's it. To this, I'll add a color correction node. Maybe give it a green color. This time I'm going to group all these nodes. So select all the nodes. Ctrl G. Press F2 to rename. Green. What I'm going to do next is copy this green few times and paste it. But before that, I'll open this up. Go to polygon and I'll animate this glow effect so that it appears gradually and after few frames it disappears in the same way. We'll use this border width to achieve that result. Put it to default. Go to frame number 10 and bring this value down so that it is completely invisible. Right click and animate. Now go to the next frame and increase the value slightly. Now go few frames forward and put it to default so that we have the complete glow effect. We'll hold this value for few frames, so something like 58. Right click, set key. Now go few frames forward and bring the value down. We'll hold this for few frames. At 84, set key, and at 85 we'll bring the value down so that it is completely invisible. So if we scrub through the keyframes, this is what we get. Let's close this one now. Select this, Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste, Ctrl V again, and once more. Arrange it slightly. Let's rename these nodes. F2, maybe call it blue. This one red and probably cyan. Connect the output of green to blue. Connect the output of this merge 1 to red and connect the output of merge 2 to cyan. I'll open this blue, go to the color correction, drag it to the viewer, open the color corrector and change the color to something blue. Close that. Open the red, go to the color correction and make it red. Drag it to the viewer. Close this. Open cyan. Select the color corrector, drag it to the viewer. Select the color as cyan. There. Now select this merge 3, drag it to the viewer. This is what we get. Now we'll reduce the size of this. Now select merge 2 and increase the size. There. Select merge 1 and do the same thing, increase the size. Actually I want this green to be where this cyan is and the cyan should go here. So I'll just pull this value up so that the green matches where the cyan is. There. We also need to bring the cyan value down. So I'll open the cyan, select the polygon and pull it down in the y-axis. Something like that. We'll also tweak the way these glow effects look. So we'll open the blue and increase the glow size. Something like that. Now take the gain value and increase it to something like 30. Close this. Open red and here I'll select the soft glow, open it up, gain value to something like 50. Close this guy and increase the glow size. Let's also tweak this soft glow, increase the gain value and glow size, maybe a little more, like that. Now select the cyan, select the soft glow. Let's probably pull this value down, this one too, also this, close. Next I'll select merge 1, Go to frame number 8, 9 maybe. Right click on this angle and click on animate. Go to 83 and rotate it something like that. I'll open the spline editor. Click on selection, fit, go to frame number 29 and increase the value so that we get a nice ease in here. Box select these two frames, click on smooth, adjust the handles, something like that. Select this, pull this handle this side. Now if I scroll between these frames, you can see the animation. Go to the flow view, select merge to, click on fit. I'll box select these keyframes, Ctrl C to copy. Now go to the flow area, select the merge to, go to the spline editor again, move to frame number 6, right click on the angle, animate, and inside the spline editor, Ctrl V to paste. Fit, and we have the same animation over here. Just make a small tweak, something like that. Go to the flow area again, select merge 3, go to the spline editor, move to frame number 4, right click, animate, Ctrl V to paste. Fit, select this. So we have the same animation for the merge 3 also. Go to the flow area. Since we copied the animation to different frames, we have an offset for the animation. I'll connect the output of this to this. Next I want to add a brightness contrast in here. So I'll click over here, shift spacebar, brightness contrast. Okay. Hold shift, click and drag to the connection. I'm going to drag this to the viewer. Fit. Now when we look at it, the glow effects are huge compared to our circle. So I'll just scale it down. So select this merge and scale it down, something like that. Next thing to notice is that all the glow effects are over this circle. So what I'm going to do is select these two nodes, pull it down, connect the output of this background to the output of this merge. A new merge node is added. Drag this to the viewer and we have the circle over the glow effect. What I'm going to do next is to reduce the size of this upper circle a little. Maybe something like that. We can't see any difference yet. Now we'll go to the brightness contrast node and increase the gamma value. Something like that. Now we can see the difference between the circle in the foreground and the one in the background. Now let's play and see what we have. Okay, there are a few things that are problematic. So one is that the cyan is not moving, and the second one is the disappearing of that green glow being too sudden. So let's go ahead and correct both of those. First I'll make the cyan move. So I'll just add a transform node in between here. So I'll just add a transform node. Go to merge, go to the spline editor, fit, click and drag, Ctrl C to copy, come to the flow, select the transform, go to the spline editor, go to maybe frame number 4, right click, animate, and here Ctrl V to paste, fit. We have our animation curve here. So now if we go back to the flow and play, yes, that is fine. Now the second thing to correct is the green glow disappearing act. So for that we'll open the green, select the polygon, go to the timeline. Let's maybe delete this keyframe from here and see what we have. Maybe over here I'll increase this value, and probably at 84 I'll still increase the value so that we have just a bit, that much. So go to flow and let's play now. Yeah, that's much better. Close this. What I'm going to do next is go to an earlier frame, something like that. Select this merge, add a duplicate node. Shift spacebar, duplicate. There, drag it to the viewer. Let the copies be 2. Decrease the time offset. Next I'll decrease the size value down To this, I'll add a hotspot, shift spacebar, hotspot, drag it to the viewer, increase the primary strength, leave all these at default, increase the aberration value. Next, go to radial, increase the radial repeat, radial angle. Now go to the spline editor, select radial. Here in the settings, select radial on. Now coming into the spline editor, select this particular button. Now click, keep doing that. We can do that in here itself if we want, but I just feel it's so much easier to do inside the spline editor. Now select the length and do the same thing. Click. There. Next I'll go to 0, right click on the length angle and animate. Next we'll go to frame number, let's see, yeah, around there. I'll just give it -720. Fit. Let the curve be linear. Now we can see straight away that the hotspot is over our main circle. So we'll go to flow and I'll pull these two down. Connect the output of this merge to the hotspot. We have a new merge node. Drag it to the viewer and that problem is taken care of. There are a few more tweaks that I want to do to that particular hotspot somewhere around here. First, I'll select the hotspot and make it look a little more interesting. Go to colors and let me click over here and give it some shape. So if you see, we have some interesting looks right now. What I'm going to do next is go to the hotspot, go to frame number 1, right click on the hotspot size and animate. Go to frame number 4 and increase the size. Next, I'll go to frame number 8 and decrease the size. Then I'll go to 16 and I'll just put it to default. But what I'm going to do different here is go to the spline editor, select the hotspot size of this, fit, select all the keyframes and click on constant. What this will do is hold the value from here to here and this value from here to here. So if I just play it, let's see what do we get. See, the transition is not smooth but abrupt, and that is exactly what I wanted. Moving forward, if you see, this green glow effect seems to be under this blue circle, but we want it to be over this blue circle. So I'll connect the output of this green to the output of this merge. Alt, click and drag, add a pipe router just so that the node tree looks neat. If we drag this to the viewer, we'll see that this is bigger than this glow effect. So I'll reduce the size. To this merge node, I'll add a transform node. Drag it to the viewer. I'm going to reduce the size, something like that, around there. Drag it this side. Next, I'm going to bring the logo inside. So select this, click and drag into Fusion. Close that. Drag it up. Click over here, add a background node. Connect this to the background node. To this background node, I'll add an image plane 3D node. Right now, we'll just keep it as it is. We'll get to this later. Since we have added an image plane 3D node, I'll add a renderer 3D node. Connect the output of the renderer 3D to the transform. Select this background node and change the color to green. Drag this to the viewer. So this is what we get. I'll go to the merge and adjust the size and placement of the logo. Decrease the size. Yeah, around there. What I'm going to do next is create that DNA strand. Just drag this over here, click in the flow, add a background node, zoom into that, drag it to the viewer, go to single view, drag this to this viewer, select a blue color, something like that, be a little darker. To this I'll add a rectangle mask, tweak it and place it over here. A little more, something like that. Click in the flow, now add another BG. I'll copy this rectangle, Ctrl C to copy and paste it here. Connect it to this background. With this background, I'm going to change the color to something light blue. Select this rectangle and reduce the size. Drag this to the viewer. This is what we get. Select the rectangle and increase the soft edge. Also increase the length there. Now I'll add one more BG node. To that again I'll add a rectangle mask. Make it a perfect square. Decrease the size. Yeah. Zoom in. Something like that. And drag it over here. Change the color of the background to white. Drag it to the viewer. Selecting this background node, I'll add a duplicate node. Shift spacebar, duplicate. I'm going to increase the copies to 10. Drag this to viewer and move this side. Something like that. A little more. Yeah, there. I'll select this rectangle and increase the soft edge slightly. Connect the output of this to this and the output of this merge to this. Drag this to the viewer and this is what we get. I'll increase the width of this rectangle like so much. Select this one and increase the height. Select this guy and pull it slightly down there. I also want to cut this part out, so I'll connect the output of this to the effect mask of this merge node. That takes care of it. Fit. Now select this merge and add a duplicate node. Drag it to the viewer and just pull it down. Something around there. Move it this side. Click over here. Add another BG node. To this, add another rectangle mask, drag it to the viewer, select this background, click on pick and drag the mouse to this color because I want to select that particular color. Now we have the same color over here. I'll select this rectangle and shape it something like that. Drag it over here, drag it to the viewer, add one more background node, copy this rectangle and paste it, connect it to this background. Drag this background, select this one, click on pick and select this color. Connect this to this, drag it to the viewer, select this rectangle, increase the soft edge. I'll also decrease the size, something like that. Decrease this value, click on fit, increase the height of this. Like there. Like earlier, we'll connect the output of this to the effect mask of this merge. Selecting this merge, I'll add a duplicate node, shift spacebar, duplicate, set the number of copies to 5, click and drag this side, drag this to the viewer, connect the output of this to this, drag it to the viewer, and this is what we get. I'm going to increase the height of this rectangle. Increase the height. Same thing with this one. There. Next to this merge node, I'll add an image plane 3D node. Shift spacebar, image plane 3D. There. To this, I'll add a bender 3D. Shift spacebar, bender 3D. Drag this to the viewer and we have the 3D viewport. Fit. I'll select twist. Increase the amount to 0.5. Select X axis. Go to maybe frame number 11, get the center value all the way down, right click, animate, go over here and let's put the value to 10. Now if we scrub along, we can see the DNA strand spinning. What I'm going to do is select this image plane and increase the subdivision level so that the edges are smooth. Now come back to the Blender 3D. I'll go to the spline editor and give it a nice ease in animation. So I'll select this, smooth. Click and drag this over. Go back to flow. Okay. To this, I'll add a renderer 3D node, shift spacebar, renderer 3D. Drag it to the viewer. This is what we get. Go to the double view icon. In here, I'll drag this one. I think we should match these two colors. So I'll add a color corrector node here. CC. Change the color over here. Drag this to viewer. Something like that. Next, I'm going to add a soft glow to this. Shift spacebar, soft glow. Increase the gain slightly, even the glow size, maybe a little more. Select all this, drag it over here. Connect the output of this to this. Drag this to the viewer. This is what we have. Like what we did here, let's change the size and position. Reduce the size. Try and match it to this logo. Little more. Maybe a little more. Yes. And bring it down. There. Increase the glow value further. What I want to do next is to have a nice transition between the DNA strand and the logo, so that first the DNA strand starts to spin and then transition nicely into the logo. To do that, first I'll select this merge node, go to frame number 20 where the main circle has not started its animation. So here I'm going to drag this blend value all the way down to 0 and right click on that and animate. Pushing this blend value of this merge down means that this whole node tree, that is this DNA strand, does not exist till frame 20. Now go few frames forward, just where this circle starts to animate, let's make it appear. So set the blend value to 1. We also need it to disappear before it transitions into the logo. So at 69, I'm going to set a key for this blend, and the right next frame, I'm going to pull this value all the way down. The DNA strand disappearing at frame 70 means that we want the logo to appear at 70. So we'll select this merge node, go to 69 and set the value of blend to 0, right click and animate. At 70, I'll push the blend value to 1. So from the DNA strand to the logo. Okay, so let's play it once to see what we have achieved. Fine, straight away we have few things that needs to be changed. I don't want the DNA strand to be appearing where the circle is not visible. So I'll go in here, copy this transform, paste it here. Connect the output of this background to the transform. If we drag it to the viewer, we have the circle. Connect the output of this transform to the effect mask input of this merge. So our problem is solved. What I also want to do is to change the color of this DNA strand. So I'll just go to this color correction and increase the gain value. Also the gamma slightly, maybe a little more of the gain. Yes, like that. I also want the logo to be white. So I'll select this background, go to frame number 72, right click over here and click on animate color group. Go to 77 and select the color as white. So the change in color from 72 to 77 will help the transition look more believable. To further enhance the effect of the transition, I'll add a soft glow here. Shift spacebar, soft glow. So at frame number 77, I'll pull the blend value all the way down, right click, animate. Go to 72, set it to 1. Let's play it and see what we have achieved. Okay, I think we can do some tweaks over here to make it more interesting. What I'm going to do is, to this merge node, I'll add a transform node. In the transform controls, I'll set the Y value of the pivot to 0.2. In fact, I'll just drag it up over here. make sure that the X value is 0.5. So now we have the pivot at the center of this effect. So we'll go to frame number 6, right click on the size and animate. Next let's go to 11 and set the size value to 1.5. Go to 14 and set the value to 1.1. Next go to 17 and set it to 1.2. And at 20 let's bring it back to default. There's one more thing that we need to do. As of now the scaling effect is really bad. So we'll go to the spline editor, select the size, fit, select all the keyframes and click on this button. So now if you see, this is exactly how we wanted it. To this transform node, I'll add a soft glow, shift spacebar, soft glow. Drag that to the viewer. The soft glow is added to enhance the transitioning effect. So let's go to frame number 68. Let's set the blend value to 0. Right click, animate. Go to frame number 72 where we have the logo. Right click and set key. Go to frame number 70 and set the blend value all the way up. I'll also tweak these values. I'll just set the gain value up to 5. Increase the threshold 0.15. Increase the glow size. Maybe a little more. Yes. Go to the spline editor. Select the blend. Fit. What I'm going to do is select this keyframe and smooth it. Pull it this side. Same thing over here. Select this keyframe and adjust the interpolation. Same thing here. Go back to the flow. Let's see now. Okay, that helps the transition. To this soft glow, I'll add another effect. Shift spacebar, dent. I'll pull it down, drag it to the viewer. This is what we get. So let's select sign dent. At frame 68, I'll set the size value all the way down. Right click, animate. Go to 72, right click, set key. Go to 70 and increase the size. So let's play the whole thing once again. Next I'll add the text for the company name. Click over here, shift spacebar, text plus. Over here I'll just type in the text. Drag this to the viewer. You can change the font over here. I'll just keep it as it is right now. Connect the output of this to this. Drag this to the viewer. Adjust the position of the text. Also reduce the size. Select the text plus node. What I'm going to do next is go to the style text, right click and go to follower. That will add the follower modifier for the text plus node. Open it up. I'll just set the delay value to 2. Let these be at default. Go to text. At 84, I'll just set the size value down to 0. But if you see, nothing has happened over here even though I reduce the size. That is because for the follower modifier to work, we need to animate any control. So right click, animate, and now it disappears. So I'll go to the next frame and increase the value to 0.08. See, now it appears. So if we just play it now, we can see what the text plus node is doing. There. Next I'll just add a background for this. So click over here, background node, connect the output of this to this, drag it over here, select the background, go to tools, I'll select the gradient, select this color and set it to black. Next I'll select this color and I'm going to give it a green tint and increase the value a little up. Drag this to the viewer. Right. Instead of linear, I'll select radial and drag this over here. Okay, let's just play it once. Nice. But I want to add one more small effect for making it more interesting. What I'll do is go to this green over here, open that up, copy all these nodes, Ctrl C to copy, close it, come down here, click over here, Ctrl V to paste. I'll drag this a fast noise over here and let me tweak it a little. Set the angle to default. I'll connect the output of this merge to the background input of the channel boolean. I'll also connect this to the background input of the soft glow and connect this to the foreground of the merge. So let's tweak this soft glow. Drag this to viewer. I'll set these values to default. Close this. Lock X and Y. And reduce the glow size. Reduce the gain value. Let's see over here. Maybe a little more. Increase the threshold. Also tweak the fast noise. Increase the detail, contrast, decrease the brightness. Maybe something like that. Let's play it once. A little more tweak, and that would be around frame 130. I'll just push this blend value down, right click, animate, go to 125 and increase the value to 1. Now let's just play it again. There. So that's it for this tutorial. Hope you have learned few tricks along. This is the final approved version of the work. I'm sure it looks quite different. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, do put a like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next.